All right, we're live, and you said that it's National Poetry Month.
Yep, and National Minority Health Month.
All right, hey, let's start the music.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right, we're back once again. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. And shout out to Mott Branch Library, where they lay out the red, black, and green carpet. Hey, let's get into some introductions because we've got a dynamic guest today. Well, not that we didn't last week, all right? But every week we have some really good guests to talk about some of the things that's going on in the community. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, and also I'm an active and registered member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. So shout out to Muhammad's Mosque number 91. And it was 35 years ago in April when I showed up right there on Brown in Nebraska and did whatever I needed to do to get my bow tie and my papers and my bean pie, and it's been on ever since. What am I wearing today? Today I've got on a kind of a black and gray and white hoodie. I've got my white hat on. I've got my glasses by Optigo, Twix in between. So if you see Kristen Moncrief she's on the corners of Bancroft and Franklin, and also she has the Optical band. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And before I pass it to you, Jody, I just want to mention a couple of things that's going on. This is with the Junction Coalition. Check them out on April 22nd. They're having the Earth Day. That's going to be at 419 Junction Avenue. How did you get that address, man? That's dope.
Yeah, I remember when we set up over there for the first time.
Yeah, so check out Alicia Smith and the staff over there. They're keeping it going. And also, this is happening at the Doug. I think it's happening this weekend on April. Yeah, we're into April, aren't we? Yeah, April 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. They got to-go meals available. This is by the Eastern Stars, my sister, Nika Fields. Hey, listen, if you want to volunteer, give her a call, 419-825-6608. And she has a Cash App, too, if you want to donate. But give her a call, and she'll probably text you the Cash App. And her cash tag is #Anika Fields. That's ANIKAFIELDS. And whatever you can do, the Sisters of the Eastern Star, they're giving back to the community. They did it in March. They're doing it in April. And every month they're trying their best to make our community a safe and decent place to live. All right, not that I don't want to say I got those out of the way, but I did. All right. Hey, Jody, can you give your intro? Let's get to the mission statement, and then we'll take a short break and come back with Maurice.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization. And I would like to say thank you for joining us again.
That's right.
Each and every week, you guys come and leave comments and all the good stuff. Happy 419 Day to all my Toledoans out in the area, Toledo, Ohio, to be exact. I know we have a sister city in Spain. And happy 420 to all my herbalist friends out there.
Yes,
and stuff.
all y'all.
To my creatives and inspirers and doers, happy National Poetry Month. We got a couple weeks left if you're doing a 30 for 30 challenge. I've been seeing a lot of videos, so shout out to anybody out there that is being creative in such a time of destruction right now. And lastly, happy Minority Health Month to all of those with a little melanin in their skin, whether it be from this side or the other side of the water. It is a very powerful thing to have some history in your bloodlines and stuff like that. That doesn't just start at slavery or anything like that. But either way,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah,
All right, I'm glad you mentioned that. All right, we be taking too many L's.
yeah, way too
starting
many
there.
L's.
All right.
So it's already enough with the school system and everything else, the libraries and museums taking hits from Orange Cheeto bag, and then we did the whole straight to block the straight, Anyway, I'm not going to get off track. But, springtime is here. We got about another month until the last frost. So shout out to all of my gardeners out there, all of my providers out there, all of the people that still see beauty in the world right now and aren't just on the phone, anyway. But how do you get to this point? How do you do all the stuff? Because protest season is right around the corner. The streets will be filled again, and whether it be Palestine or Ukraine or Iran or any of that other stuff, remember to keep your community local.
That's right.
I know the world is a horrible place, but the person down the block might be in the same situation. Houselessness is real, and our youth and teens houselessness is going up. So if you see, I've had several kids come up to me, unfortunately, at the wrong time, but asked me for a couple of dollars, and I'm like, it hurts me in a little spot knowing that that's, I didn't have to do that. I always had some opportunity or some program to do something, and I don't see nothing provided, at least right now. But how do you get to that point? This is our mission statement. This is what has kept us grounded for almost 12 years.
That's right.
12 years is a long time. We've seen many people come, many people go. And I hope this helps you. I hope you find an organization that doesn't have something that changes or is held up by meetings for the meeting to get something done.
I know how that is.
We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, police brutality goes without consequence or accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I know that we said that we were going to take a short break, but I did want to mention that next month is Lupus Awareness Month, and we had the CEO of the Lupus Foundation of America for Greater Ohio chapter, and our sister, the number one mail lady in the city. I guess can I say that?
Yes, you can.
All right.
She was here last
Our
week.
sister Rachel Roy. So on May 17th at Ottawa Park, show up. It is from, what's the time? I think it's from 10 to 12. I got 10 to 1. So I'm going to have to be excused from the mosque early that day. You might have to call in for me and say, hey, let Brother Washington go. So join us. I know that there's some other types of things that get more attention than lupus, but lupus affects us. It affects our community. And sometimes we got to come out of the shadows and say, hey, listen, we think that this is something that everybody needs to take a second look at and create some awareness, break the stigma of saying that, hey, listen, this is happening to me. So next month is Lupus Awareness Month. We're going to be pushing that for the next couple of weeks. We're going to try to get Rochelle back in to talk about that a little bit more. But I want to take a short break right now, Jody, and we're going to come back with our brother Maurice Morris. I'm going to say Maurice Moore. That's the guy that owe me money on the east side. Well, I hope he listening too. To give about $20. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
It's the Panama Canal.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. But I got to give a shout out to the branch manager, Kevin, Teresa, Andrea, Olivia, that lady with the glasses, the lady that's standing next to her right over there. So, and, you know, big ups that we partner with the Mott Branch Library in the Toledo, Lucas County Library, that we have our podcast spot. Each month we come in, put up our placards, and these are real placards that people have seen us on the protest line with all these. So maybe if you come by, we'll have Jody autograph one of them. That helps us and do what we do. All right, family. As always, whenever we have a guest, well, almost family as soon as, I guess, Jody certifies or gives that whatever that stamp is. We always ask our guests who they are, what are they wearing, and what are we talking about today. So, brother, who are you? What are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
Okay. My name is Maurice Morris. What I'm wearing is a Dallas Cowboy hat.
Okay, sorry to hear that, but okay, but all right, but okay, no
There's
haters.
no other team in the NFL to root for other than the Cowboys.
Okay, all right.
I got on a blue shirt, jeans, and some slip-in shoes. We're here to talk about the recent incident regarding the 15-year-old that was, I believe, unlawfully arrested by a Toledo police officer.
Okay,
So we're here to discuss that today.
all right. So, when you first heard about it, or when you first saw the video, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts was why?
Yeah. Okay.
Why the initial contact? 2, how did it go from simply walking in the street to being arrested? Now, I need to put this out so everybody can understand my stance and where I am.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so I'm a former law enforcement officer.
Okay, check.
Also, I am currently OPATA certified again as a peace officer. So in order for you to be a police officer anywhere in the U.S., but more specifically here in the state of Ohio, you have to have a OPATA certification.
Okay.
So as of June 6th of this year, I have my OPATA cert back. Okay. Second thing is I am pro-police, anti-corruption. Let's make that clear.
All right, let's
I
go.
am from a family of law enforcement officers, from my father down to my uncles and my cousins. I'm pro-police, but anti-corruption. The third thing is I am what they call a Safe Cop coordinator by the National Police Defense Fund. What that is, any officer that is killed in the line of duty, I can access through the company, a National Police Defense Fund,
Yeah.
a $10,000 reward for anyone that kills an officer in the line of duty, and that person has yet to be apprehended. So
Okay.
I want to make it clear. We need police, but we need the right police with the right attitude that's going to be patrolling our community. That's why we're here. But I want to put that out so
All right.
everybody will understand.
Right.
I'm not against policing,
Right.
just bad policing.
Right. So this isn't one of those trigger sessions where we're just talking reckless. All right. That's not what this is. We wouldn't have Jody on here. We wouldn't have myself on here or our brother Maurice on here if that's what we were doing today. All right. We're not doing that reckless talk. We're not doing that unreasonably sympathetic talk either. We're talking about what happened. We're talking about those who were involved and what could have happened different. And some of the things that I've heard people saying are what we want to do moving forward. All right. So how do you think with the proper training and the proper engagement, how would something like that go down with someone with your training?
Okay, so I just had de-escalation not so long ago, and as I said before, but first off, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
For inviting me on. Thank you so much. You too, Jody. Thank you. So let's go back. If someone has an ill against a particular class of people,
Okay.
I don't care how many academies you go to, that's not going to teach that out of you. Number 2, there's no amount of legislation that's going to protect the community from an officer that has an issue with a particular class of people. So the overarching situation is we have to pick the right police that is going to patrol our communities, especially in the Black community, because of all the issues we've had.
Yeah.
Mind you, between law enforcement and Black community, there's a great divide.
Mhm.
There's a great divide,
Yeah.
and for good reason. And it seems to me when we make headway or make steps forward to try to bring both together, something happens to divide us.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, right before the pandemic, CSRN thought that it would be a great idea to have the Lucas County Sheriff's Forum, because I think that one of the misconceptions about movement work is that we hate all authority. Well, we just don't like the corruption. I know that I want my neighborhood safe, and even in the Nation of Islam, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we should cooperate with law enforcement in our community that respects us, that wants to do good in our community. That would be a sad day for someone to be reckless and say, no, we don't need any of the police. Okay, well, what happens when you get in an automobile accident? What happens when someone takes something out of your home? What happens, in those situations? So no, even the Constitution talks about having that type of thing in place, that the right type of militia in place that's going to protect us from those who want to cause harm. However, when just as I'm held accountable as a leader, as a professional, if I get it wrong, I should be able to own up and say, yeah, I was wrong for that. I understand the corrective plan, and here's what I'm going to do. Well, the same should be with law enforcement. We don't necessarily have it like that, but we're here to say that we want to start doing some things to not only hold law enforcement accountable, our politicians accountable, our educators accountable. I mean, what's good for one is good for all of them anyway, even myself as a so-called leader in the community. It goes for me too. So with your training, how do you engage a group of young people walking in the street as if that's something that never happens? All right. How would you engage with your training?
Well, not only with my training, I use a lot of compassion, empathy, and humility. So when I worked LMHA public safety and I worked the housing complex, I would always approach with humility. I would always approach with introducing myself and then meeting people where they are. In that particular situation, that would have been a teachable moment.
Yeah.
Young lady, gentlemen, it's against the law to be walking in the street, but what I care more about is your safety.
That's right.
And that would have been the end of it. I would have kept driving. I would have left the scene, but it would have been a teachable moment. Now, mind you, this isn't the first time this happened. I think it was it last summer? A young black female was on her way to work to Wendy's, and a white cop rolled up, and she was not walking on the sidewalk. She had just exited the sidewalk because a portion of the sidewalk was covered with glass and grass.
Right. I remember that.
Don't you remember that?
I remember that.
And the cop pulled up, and again, that went from walking in the street to her being arrested.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice. So we've had this in a span of less than maybe 2 years. Why do these incidents keep happening? Not with black officers, but officers that don't look like us in our neighborhoods. Right.
So, I want to talk about, because we've already formed CSPARC. That's the Community Solidarity Police Review Board. And we're going to start meeting monthly, review some of review the tape, review the officers, and we're going to decide if it meets that level of beyond the color of law. All right. And we're going to take steps to hold our Toledo Police Department accountable. We're not going to go through internal affairs. We're not going to go through our local politicians. We're going to come together and make sure that we put them on notice that no, you're not going to continue doing this in our community and go home and sleep well. You're going to have to think about if you're going to be going to court. You're going to have to think about if qualified immunity pertains to you. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to think about, man, am I going to lose my job and some money? So so that part is on us to figure out what we can do within reason instead of waiting for instead of waiting for Dr. Brittany Jones or waiting for Venice Williams. Man, they got enough on their plate and we're waiting for James Hobbs, John Hobbs. They got enough on their plate, all right, with legislating and administrating the affairs of the city. It's more of us than them.
Correct.
So we got to get out of the habit of waiting for somebody, all right, but it's us.
Correct.
So we could do some things to make a difference in our community. Now, I wanted to also point out something that happened last week was the response of the NAACP Toledo branch, which was unheard of. All right. I'm a member.
Yes.
I'm a member of the NAACP, and I need to renew my membership. But hey, I can still talk.
Come on, bro.
I can still talk.
Come on.
This is one of the first times I've ever seen a response like that, and the wording so affirmative, the wording so succinct, the wording without softness or looking like it wanted to kowtow to something that don't even exist. So shout out to the NAACP.
Yes.
And shout out to the mind that put that together and the fingers that typed that out and the printer that printed that. All right, man. So, and that allowed us to, as CSRN, to kind of wait, take a back seat. Text Darlene, hey, look, let us know our next move. Even if my next move is to be quiet. All right. Sometimes we muddy the water by trying to create something that doesn't exist. So,
or does not have to exist.
It doesn't. I'm telling you, it doesn't have to. And most of us in movement work, bless our heart, we might not see that quiet space where we may need to be quiet. All right. Had it been maybe a day and a half that goes by, okay, let's put something out. All right.
Correct.
But we know the feeling of when it's up to me. But this time it wasn't.
Right.
So yeah, that was beautiful, and it led a lot of us to say what we needed to say last Thursday. All right, that set the backdrop of all of the spirit of those who went down to City Council, and big shout out also to President Williams, Hobbs, and everybody that allowed that space. And another shout out to Councilman Hobbs, because when the chief and the deputy chief, he could have easily excused them.
But he didn't.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
See, and that's something that's some strength on his side, because he asked him, hey, you're more than welcome to stay. But he could have easily said, hey, listen, I know you guys got to go. That's my cue to let them know that they can go. I know you guys got a lot to go, a lot to do. You got no more to do than I do.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
And he could have excused them, but he forced them to stay.
Which was good, because he needed to hear from the community.
Absolutely.
Before we go any further, I want to just put it out to about the NAACP, and thank you so much for recognizing what Lady President Newborn is doing.
Yeah.
I am the social justice chair for the local NAACP. And when I came on, I basically hit the ground running. And to see what they have done since this incident, and even before, should let the community know that the NAACP is on top of it. They've been out front. Yep. They've already had a meeting with the mayor and Lady Newborn and her team, which include me. We're asking for accountability and transparency.
Yeah, and she had met with us. Man, I feel like I'm reporting out for Lady Darlene, Lady President.
Yes,
but she came by and we talked about some of the things that people don't see regarding the NAACP. All right, we might think it's the old, where we're going to wait for all the facts. And that's what older people like me say.
Right.
And me waiting for all the facts is really like, hey, look, I'm going to wait till this blow over and you guys forget about it, and I could wait another year till something else happened. And I think it was her that made sure that that officer was not in that community anymore.
Correct.
If it had not been for her forceful engagement with the mayor, we may be at business as usual. And she put a lot of her reputation on the line. She put a lot of her political clout on the line to demand that he be moved and stay there until it's done. So yeah, this is the NAACP is hitting different.
Yep.
All right.
It is.
And we're here regarding CSRN. We're here for any light work that needs to be done.
Thank you.
We're here to say some things that need to be said in our own way to help move this forward, or whatever we need to do. And I think that all of us have our different roles in this, but I just want to make sure our relationship with the NAACP is that, utilize us to do or say some of those things that's going to either bring us back to the boardroom or just shut it down. Either way, we need it done.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. I want to put this out. Since we're talking about that matter, I think it's important that in our community, you know what your rights are, and you should know the do's and don'ts when interacting with law enforcement. And I think it's key because I think the majority of the people, not only in this community, but throughout the country, but we're talking about our community. Do you know what you should and should not do if you are approached or pulled over by police? Now, I was asked that question, or I gave that question to someone today that contacted me about doing my Home Safe program, which teaches our community the do's and don'ts of interacting with law enforcement. And I asked this person, do you know what you should and should not do if you pulled over by the police? And this person said, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. And we went through what you should say, what you should not do, what you should give them legally, and anything beyond that, you don't have to give.
Yeah.
Because if they ask you where you're coming from, you can respectfully say no. Where you're coming from, I don't have to divulge that information. I have given you what legally I'm required to give. You.
Yeah, and I think that it's a great chance that the Home Safe program is maybe that's something that more people need to know about, especially in these days and time. It's not, and I'll say this, we're not talking about we're not talking about punking out. That's not what we're talking. We're not talking about being soft.
No, educating.
Right? We're educating so that you'll know what you don't have to do. And how can you know what you don't have to do unless you know what to do?
Correct.
So we're not telling you that we're going to teach you how to comply to everything, because everything is everything. But as brother said, if you ask where you're coming from, you don't have to answer that. And there's some other things that you need to know that you don't have to do. But in learning those things that you don't know, that you don't have to do, you're going to have to learn some of the things that you have to do.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
So,
correct.
And I think you mentioning it like that changes the whole thing, because we're never taught about what you don't have to do.
Correct.
It's always what you have to do. And people will push away from you. Man, look, I ain't with all of that. I deserve, okay, all right, let's go it another way. All right. And I think that if we decided to create, man, and I'm thinking about this, some of the brothers were asking me of the nation, hey, listen, what is it, some things that we can do, all right, in the community that's kind of a neutral type thing. Man, let's talk with Maurice, and he has his Home Safe program, and we could talk about know your rights, what you don't have to do. And that right there will make people, all right, cool. I want to learn what I don't have to do.
Correct.
But hey,
And
once
what you
you
should
get it,
do.
but once
Right.
you get here,
Yeah.
all right,
Right.
we're gonna teach you what you have to do.
What you need to do to get home
Man.
safe.
Yeah.
Now, there's a misconception out there, and I had the person I was talking to today when I asked what you should do if the police pull you over, and they said, well, one thing I don't have to do is I don't have to get out the vehicle. And I said, wrong. You do have to get out the vehicle. That's the misconception. Pennsylvania versus Mims. Give the police, law enforcement, the authority at any given time to get you or ask you or request for you to get out of the vehicle. The moment you say no, that's resisting. I'm going to say it again.
Listen up. Say it again.
Pennsylvania versus Mims, 1977, gave law enforcement the right to ask you to get out of the vehicle. And if you refuse, that's resisting. That's a charge. Get out the vehicle, but get out the vehicle with all of your rights.
Yeah.
First Amendment,
I got you.
Fourth Amendment.
I
You
got
get what I'm
you.
saying?
See that?
Okay.
See what and what we're doing on this podcast today is we're making sense. All right, because if you stop, you stopped. You're not leaving until they're finished.
Correct.
All right.
You're
not
detained. You are detained the moment the lights come on.
Look.
You are detained.
All right. All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, listen. Also, I wanted to mention that not the NAACP, but on the Frederick Douglass Community Center, they're having a voter grief program tonight at 7:00, and I'm looking at the sign and I see Jody giving me a funny look. All right, it's 6:37. I want to get into what the NAACP is doing for Juneteenth, and then we're going to kind of shut it down with some last words from you. But this is not the last time we're going to be talking about this.
Correct.
And I do like
Correct.
that Home Safe program.
I did it at the Doug, I think last year.
Okay, all right. And I love the aspect of having what you don't have to do out front, because we already have an appetite for opposition to authority. So you already got my attention right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hook for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming to hear what I don't have to do. All right. Hey, I may not even know that I'm going to be taught what to do, but just knowing what I don't have to do is being taught what I'm to do.
Don't give them any information that you're not legally required in a
mm.
physical sense and also in a verbal. Do not tell on yourself, because law enforcement is smart enough that they can ask you a few questions and you will tell on yourself.
Man. All right. I know about that. All right. Hey, listen. All right. So I don't have it on the screen, so we're going to talk about it. And I hope that you go to the NAACP on Facebook, and you may be able to pull that up there. So June 19th, what's happening at Wayman Palmer?
We have our June 19th celebration that's happening at Wayman Palmer. If you guys, not only in the area, but we want you to come out to support this huge event. We're going to have free haircuts, braiding, imagination station is going to be there. We're going to have some medical professionals on staff to check your blood pressure. We're going to have arts and craft, food trucks, spoken word. And I need to digress for a second. Food trucks.
All right.
If you want to be a part of this, please contact the NAACP right away so that we can get you on schedule, get you through the process. If you want to come out and be a part of the food truck display on that particular day. So it's happening on June 19th, 2026 from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Wayman Palmer YMCA, 2000 East Bancroft.
All right. So we got it on your screen right there. Family save the date. We kind of fast with that. All right. Yeah. So save the date, June 19th. That's 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Meet us at the Wayman Palmer YMCA. There's going to be quite a few Juneteenth programs happening that day. Mm-hmm. So put that on your bucket list. All right. Make your rounds. Myself and Jody. Yeah, I'm just throwing him in it. We'll be making our rounds, but best believe the Juneteenth celebration. Wayman Palmer, we're going to be there. Now, I think last year it was at the
Library.
Library.
Yes.
So
yes.
this is kind of different this year.
Correct.
All right, and I like this.
Yep.
All right, I like this. I'm tired of getting thrown out the library. All right, so now we got to go to a program there. Oh, all right, make sense. All right, so big shout out to the leadership of the NAACP, because I was saying something without saying it. All right, so big shout out to the leadership that they did this so that we can come out, so that we could just drive there, so we could just park there, that it's in the open area, that it's at the brand new Wayman Palmer. So it's also giving people an opportunity to be introduced to the new Wayman Palmer at the same time, and having something strong there. All right. Because this is in our community.
It's in our community.
Right. And right across the street is the, what is that? The Colors and the Sojourner, the art gallery.
Okay.
So that's going to be a whole vibe. All right. Last thing, one of the things, we're big on self-care. We're big on gratitude. What is it that you do for self-care to rebalance at the end of the day or the end of the week?
One thing, I do my own lawn, and for me, that helps me to decompress.
Okay.
It helps me to run through some thoughts, that I need, to think about, my agenda for the week. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I have a dog. So between my lawn, being a husband, being a father, it kind of keeps me not only grounded, but the most important things that I need to address. So my outlet is walking my dog, doing my lawn, working out when I can. I haven't worked out in a while. I'm a martial artist.
Okay. All right. I wasn't trying to try you right now.
No. And it's been about a year. It's called Krav Maga.
Okay.
And that was my outlet, but because of my work schedule, I haven't been able to get back on a serious level, and I'm trying to get myself there because it allows me to let it go. It does. And because of that, I need to get back.
What was that? Jody's staff that just fell again?
That was my phone.
Okay. All right. I'm like,
Nope.
I'm here blaming Jody for,
Nope.
Well, Jody's used to me being wrong. All right. So I'm not going to stop now.
Right.
All right. Next, we're big on gratitude because in the movement work, self-care is important because that allows us to be resilient and come back for the next, for the next battle, because it's going to be one, but I need to show up in shape. All right. Next is gratitude. 3 things that you're grateful for. What are your 3?
My wife.
Okay.
Man, which is my girlfriend, because I'm still dating her.
Okay. All right. That scared me for a second, but okay.
My wife, my daughter, for sure. And those that have supported my journey.
Oh, wow. All right. Maurice, would you be willing to maybe come back at another time to keep us up to date on the NAACP and the Home Safe program and anything that you think that's in our wheelhouse of how we do things here? Hey, include us in.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
And how do people, for those that are watching, if you're not a part of an organization at the Million Man March, the first organization that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan asked everyone to join was the NAACP. All right. So if there's anyone out there that's interested after hearing you and hearing how we get down now in 2026.
We're getting down.
Right.
We're getting down.
Right. How do they contact?
So you could go to our local website, just put in local chapter of the NAACP.
Okay.
And there's a website there. You can click on upcoming events, what we're doing in the community, and also, more importantly, become a member.
All right. So that, I guess that's shots directed at me because I got to update my membership. I get my card back so I could flex it when I'm with Jody. All right. So, hey, listen, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with Jody. He's going to give us some community updates and things that's happening in our community.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great.
Right,
it was great. Thank you for the invite. Thank you.
Hey, man, it's on. Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Elgic channel. In our last video, we learned how to properly clean our TV for that perfect movie night. In case you missed it, you can check it out by clicking the link below. But what's a TV without its remote control? It's the accessory that gets handled the most and collects a lot of germs, dust, and grime. So today, we're giving it a proper clean to keep it fresh and ready for use. And the best part is that these same steps can also be used for streaming sticks, gaming controllers, and even household appliance remotes. Now, let's get it clean. To clean your remote, all you need are household items. You'll need a microfiber cloth, a small brush or toothbrush, a toothpick, rubbing alcohol or bleach-free disinfecting wipes, and a cotton swab. Now, to clean our remote, first remove the batteries. Then, tap the back to shake out loose debris. Use a toothbrush and toothpick to remove crumbs and dirt between the buttons. Next, for an initial wipe, dampen your microfiber cloth with alcohol or use disinfecting wipes to wipe down the front, back, and side of the remote. Remember, never spray liquid directly on any controller. To ensure the areas around the buttons are disinfected, dip a cotton swab in alcohol, squeeze out the excess, and wipe the nooks and crannies around the buttons. Then, do a final wipe down. Lastly, allow the remote to air dry before reinstalling the batteries. And there you have it, a fresh and disinfected remote control. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. You can click the link in the description box below for our other tutorials. And don't forget, cleaning is a family affair. See you next time, and as always, let's get it clean.
We are here. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Family, they got there's a program happening in 10 minutes at the Frederick Douglass Community Center. It's called A Conversation Regarding Voter Grief. And I never heard those two words before, but I got it. All right. And it's geared for those between 18 and 45. So I just barely missed that. I just barely missed it. But I want
somewhere in the pocket.
Right, but I want to be there to listen to those talk about the disengagement, the frustration, their concerns, and maybe talk about some of the real issues. Because there's a reason why there's voter grief. All right, and it's not because we've been successful as leaders, as politicians. All right, so there's something to that, and a big shout out to the Frederick Douglass Community Center and everybody that decided that they're going to have this, where you're going to invite people out and hopefully listen to them, because they may get an earful. And lastly, I wanted to bring up this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. Let me get that image. This week's edition of the Final Call newspaper, you can pick up these at the Mont Branch Library. We're going to have some at Bobby Howard's and some of the barbershops. And the headline is, will American in Israel be charged with war crimes? And if you've been watching the news and the way this thing has been prosecuted, it's no doubt that question is happening all around the world. So pick up this issue of the Final Call, along with read the story regarding what is that story? Regarding violence prevention, and advocates talk about strategies to engage Black youth amid the national teen takeovers. I don't know if you've heard of that, Jody.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And it's a thing. And before we start blaming our youth, there's a void that us as older people have created,
A big one.
that teen takeovers and a lot of things have filled. So before we start blaming our children, we might want to blame some of us who have not done well at what I call transferring wisdom.
Right.
All right. So that's this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. And hey, listen, Jody, before we log off for today, man, what are some of the things that you've seen in the community that you like to let the people know about?
All right, I'm going to run down a list of things that's happened since 419 Day in our last episode on the air. So on Saturday, there was Curtis Dieter. He was having a book signing at Gathered Volumes called Ronald the Ronin. There was also a great friend of ours in the show, Mo Poetry Phillips. She had the 5th annual AEC I Don't Look Like What I've Been Through as part of their Survivors Ball and things that's going on. It was a virtual meeting and everything. Also on Saturday was a very busy day, so you're going to hear a lot of Saturday stuff. Saturday, there was the TMA 125th anniversary public lecture with Julie McMaster. There was also few things that I went to in between that. There was the Ode to the Zip Code.
Okay. And when was that?
That was at the main branch library. It was actually in the big amphitheater and stuff that they have upstairs. I believe that's the McMaster Center. Is that the McMaster Center?
I believe so.
That is the McMaster Center. So I don't know if those two are connected with what I just said with the library, but so that was great. It was a great group of contestants, and I was actually supposed to be at another event. I'm going to pass the ball to Brother Washington after I say this, but I was supposed to be there. And then as I was organizing my stuff, because I'm one of the recipients, I believe from 2019, I had won, but I was asked to be a judge. So this was my first time actually judging any competition in 11 years, because I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my craft.
Okay, all right. Okay, I heard that before. All right, yeah.
I got to edit but I am sensitive about my craft, so I've never tried to judge anybody, because I know most people, at least, especially myself, this is my life that I'm giving out in stories and artwork and stuff like that. So I can't be like, well, I don't know that brown dog you talking about, and that's just stupid poem. No, so I got to judge it, and it was awesome being in the room. I left there and then went to.
We had thanks for transitioning. All right. Also, what I didn't mention was last week I think on Saturday, we had the Let's Get It Clean workshop. That was the Sisters of the Nation of Islam, the MGT and GCC put together the How to Keep House. This was at the Ebite Center from 3:30 to about 5:30. We had maybe nearly 30 people come out. They got to leave with some gifts. We talked about the difference between cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting. And also, hey, they gave out bean pie at the end.
Bean pie and castor oil soap.
Right. So Castile soap. Castile soap. All right. If it was castor oil soap, all right. Well, I don't know. That may be a thing too. All right. Hey, I don't know, but I learned a lot. So shout out to Sister Yvette Muhammad and Sisters from the Nation of Islam, the MGT and GCC, for how to keep house mentally, spiritually, and physically. Hey, listen,
and we
Jody.
talked about clutter,
right,
and stuff like that. So I got 2 more events, and then we're gonna run through the stuff, and then we got 5 minutes to eat. So we talked about clutter and organized, especially being artists. It's clutter to anybody else, but it's organized to us, and that's why we can be Plus and all that good stuff. Leaving there, I went to the Scribe Spring Art Mixer in Spotlight. I started off this year as one of the first poets to be in the Scribe at the beginning of the year, and it was great. Met a lot of people, met a lot of artists, and all of that good stuff. And hopefully they got a contest going on, so make sure you apply to that. Jumping into what's going on right now here, updated events and everything like that. We're going to run through these really, really quickly. There are some things coming up actually right now today. Brother Washington already spoke of one of them.
Right.
Also going on right now is the Protect Our Voice Healthcare and Financial Power of Attorney workshop. That's Rena. She's one of our great friends, but that's going on right now at Kent Branch Library. This Thursday at 6 p.m. is Toledo Film, or Film Toledo. Got that backwards. Film Toledo is the 2026 Spring Mixer at M. Osteria Bar. That's 6 to 10 o'clock. Also this Thursday is Networking Nights at NOR, and that's going to be our councilwoman. She's helping host it. So Venice Williams is going to be the host of that. That is downtown in Toledo. It's Thursday, Exploring Our Faith, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And that is going on 6 to 8 p.m. Lastly, there is a wellness retreat at Village Legacy Learning Center. And Sonia Organic, speaking of Minority Mental Health Month, she has her event going on, again, DEI and all that stuff, so you can't really advertise it like we used to, but it is still going on. So we have the National Minority Health Month Community Health Fair this Sunday, April 26th, 1 to 4 p.m. So I'll probably be going over there before I go over to
where?
Frederick Douglass. There's something going on that we mentioned.
Those that's the Sisters of the Eastern Star. They're going to be having their community event. That's going to be this Sunday from 1 to 4. Let me make sure I get that right. I think it's from 1 to 4. It's on the screen right there. Yep, from 1 to 4 this Sunday. Come and get a free meal to go. If you want to donate, give Anika a call, 419-825-6608, or Cash App her at her name, #, her name. You see it right there.
Yep.
That's #, Anika Fields, one word.
So if you're outside and in the area, you can go down to one and go down to the other. They are both free events to the public and everything like that.
All right. Hey, listen, we're on our way out of here, but we don't close out without what we call 5 minutes of heat. And this is where we close out in a unique way of using creative expression. It comes from a song called 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. But as CSRN does, we take all those historical things from our elders.
This is Robert's Rules.
Yes, and we remix it. All right. So we got 5 minutes of heat. Jody has been faithfully our number one 5 minutes of heat person for the last 12 years. Jody, what do you have for us today?
This is a piece straight out of my 30 days of writing, which I'm not doing the 30 days, but I'm still going to write something. I'm just not doing the challenge, but it is called Come At Me, Bro. Okay. If you're in the activist world, you might have heard that statement. I'm not sure they're doing it ones now, but before,
all right,
actually doing stuff, that would be one of the statements when people asked us for our authenticity being outside protesting.
All right.
Anyway,
come at me, bro.
Let's begin. Peace. I believed in my dreams so hard that they became reality. Pursued my sacrifices so vigilantly that I caught up to them and produced wealth, residuals, and a legacy that cannot be touched. I walk with purpose in every room I enter, vibrating so brightly I cast out shadows and people who didn't know they were carrying the weight of regret on their shoulders that they need to let go. I purify demons out of people who use scripture to block their blessings without doing the work. My touch is like ecstasy, with a voice that will soothe any troubled soul I come across. My art is like an awakening to a soul who has forgotten how brightly they should be shining. My path has been forged in the fires of lost, tempered in the tsunamis of tears I cried, finding myself honed and tested through failure and triumph and battle hardened through every mic I take. It ain't easy being me, but if I inspire one soul through my presence, I've already rewritten history, because I wasn't supposed to be here. Wasn't even supposed to make it past 25, but here I am, here I sit, still alive, tracking down stages, venues, and events that need a little piece of me. I am everything, yes, everything my ancestors prayed for. And I believe, and believe me, I will not let them down, because that little boy who thought he meant nothing to no one and was invisible to the rest of the world found out how important it is to be seen. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. And if you can, join us at the Frederick Douglass Community Center. We're going to just shut this on down, pack on up, and head over to the Frederick Douglass Community Center, where they're going to be talking about voter grief. But
Maybe
it's
some light snacks.
right. But as always, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.